Hey everyone, in 8 days Iconicon will launch. Now for those of you who don't know what Iconicon is, it is the brainchild of Tony Roberts at Analog Toys and Melinda right here at RetroBlasting, both of whom wanted to bring you an online retro convention, free of charge. And the idea was they wanted to celebrate the 80s with a multi-day event that included all types of content creators across multiple platforms to celebrate the 80s. Now, this runs from July 7th through the 11th. All of the details of all of the panels, all of the presentations, all of the videos, all of the topics, and all of the participants can be seen right now at iconicononline.com. Again, this runs from July 7th through the 11th. Most of the content will be on YouTube. Some of it will be podcasts, and there will be a Facebook Live auction as well. There will even be a watch-along with us of an obscure retro 80s movie. Now, there are many channels that they've brought together from July 7th through the 11th to partner with us on this and provide content. Some of them will be panelists on other people's channels. Some of them will be channels hosting some of these streams. So we're hoping to raise your awareness as well of some of the other great, authentic, and credible independent retro content creators out there and pop culture content creators in the space who love the 80s. So I'm going to do some of this from memory here because I don't use a teleprompter, so just bear with me. I'm going to name off some of the people, just some of the content creators that we're working with. Of course, you've got Analog Toys, but you've also got 2 Cents Toys. You've got Ed's Retro Geek Out. You've got Matt Movie 611. You've got Clobberin' Times. You've got Midnight's Edge. You've got Simple Tricks and Nonsense. You've got The Infinity Equation. You've got Movie Oubliette, All Things 80s, Lio Convoy Reviews, Gen X Toys Geek, Tokyo Toy Bastard, Toy Poloi, and unexpected at the time that we were planning this, we also have a number of special guests who are going to be joining us, including Lance Guest and Catherine Mary Stewart, the stars of The Last Starfighter. They will be doing a live stream interview with us right here on RetroBlasting. Catherine Mary Stewart will be joining her co-star KELLI Maroney from Night of the Comet to do another interview with Movie Oubliette and Melinda here on RetroBlasting. And then we also have Keith Coogan, who was the star of Adventures in Babysitting, one of the stars of Adventures in Babysitting. He will be doing an interview with Matt Swafford of Reclaimers Vintage Toys. They'll be interviewing Keith Coogan about his experience as a child star in the 80s, as well as composer Bruce Broughton, who you may know as the composer of The Monster Squad and Silverado. The topics will be wide-ranging as well. We're not only going to be discussing the big 3 toy lines of the 80s, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and He-Man and their impact. We'll also be discussing the evolution of 80s metal. We'll be discussing the most difficult and the easiest 80s costumes to put together for a convention. We'll be discussing Tron. There's an entire panel on the competition at the box office between Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll be looking at the early years of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line. We'll be talking about Bond in the 80s, where the decade began with Roger Moore and ended with Timothy Dalton. Tony at Analog Toys will be interviewing Bob Breakin, the creator of Action Man, to talk about the evolution of Action Force in the 1980s. And Matt Swafford and myself will be interviewing the creator of the Boglins. And there will be a trivia competition to see who is the expert on Canon films. And that's just some of the content we have lined up from July 7th through the 11th. It's going to be going around the clock because our content creators are truly international and global. So what you can catch live, we can't wait to see you in the chat. What you can't catch live, you can get on the replay. We have a playlist already set up here on RetroBlasting tracking most of the content that's going to be happening throughout all of those days and across all of those channels and platforms. We hope to see you there. We hope you're going to have a good time. I know we're going to have a good time. We're racing to the finish line to get everything ready for July 7th, and we can't wait. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of info about that because some people were asking. Again, most of the content is on YouTube. All of it is free. And yeah, it's going to be there after the convention is over. It's not going to disappear. It's going to be in a playlist, a master playlist on RetroBlasting. And of course, the channels that make these videos will be hosting them perennially as far as we know. So yeah, can't wait to see you at Iconicon. Hope to see you guys virtually in the chat. And yeah, it's going to be great. So yeah, I look forward to it. I hope you look forward to it. And we'll see you in a few days.